This is Awesome St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Hey everybody! Oh,
What?
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 What do you mean what?
What do you mean what?
Oh, Zenkaiger Sentai!
This was a fun one, wasn't it?
Yes. All right. So, hello everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Sentai Hero Special, and of course, our host, Red Star, and of course, Quasar Red. And just want to let you guys know that. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me change my name. Hold on a second.
Here, the government can find you, Clement. Run!
Ah! Oh no! Oh no! Okay, there you go. All right. So, as you guys know, today we're gonna review episode. What is the number?
20.
Number 28. Episode 28, and today's episode is called the Weekly Shonen Manga World Library World. So the Weekly Shonen Manga World Library.
Manga. Isn't it pronounced manga?
Yeah, manga.
Oh.
Or is that manga? All right. So before we get started, let's start with the opening comments. So what have you been doing lately, man?
Parade. That was about it. Not much, really. What are you doing?
Let's see. Just been working a lot and just feeling all tired. And the coffee is kicking in, but it's working its charm.
Well, you can sleep later because we got quite an episode to review. By the way, you got. They did a joke like that on Family Matters.
All right. So without further ado, and so today's episode 28. So wow, we're 2 episodes away from the 30 episode arc.
30.
So if any of you Super Sentai fans or Power Ranger fans have started watching Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger along with us during our journey, then great, you're all caught up. But if you guys haven't started watching Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, I suggest check it out. It's really fun. It's entertaining. It's very interactive, and I love to say this, that most of these villains are funny and creative with all like these like worlds or utopias, and like we've bumped into magnets, bullfighting, copying machine, kachiwa mochi, and some sushis, and ice, and garbage, recycle. It's just so many so many different kinds of theme, and today's theme is none other than, of course, on the title is manga. So if any of you Power Ranger fans or Super Sentai fans are aware that manga, of course, it's one of the most entertaining like Japanese anime like graphic novels that have been around since for a long time. And like, of course, our famous like anime such as Bleach, Naruto,
Dragon Ball,
One Piece, and Dragon Ball. Those were like the high ranked level like anime series that started it all and made us all jump into like Japanese anime. But these days we have like My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, and Boruto, and more. Like there's so much anime series that I just couldn't like keep track, because there's new ones every month, every year. It's just I can't catch up with all of them. It's crazy.
I haven't really dabbled much in manga stories yet, but they look entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So without further ado, let's get started on the reviews of today's episode. And today's episode is episode 28. And how does let's get started. You want to give
Okay.
us a start?
Sure. So the episode starts off with Zox. He's crashing at the Zenkaiger's HQ. That's because Kaito has taken his ship and is like exploring the other worlds that have been freed from the Toji Tendos. They're like trying to look for his mom. Like they still have no idea where she is. And but by the way, it was kind of funny to peek into Vacation World a bit, which it looks very relaxing. Anyway, back
Mhm.
at back at the base, the team's kind of lamenting how the Toji Tendos are been using Kaito's parents' technology for themselves, and how it's causing all those terrible things to happen. Grandma's feeling a little sad about it all, and then suddenly Suchen you know sounds the alarm, like something's happening, and we see this guy terrorizing the city. Like this is manga world pretty much.
Mhm.
He has the ability to turn people into pieces of paper, and make them look like manga stories, or a comic book basically, much to the surprise much to the surprise of our heroes. And yeah, so the team, and he's planning on making them all into one big manga book. And so the team gets to work. They morph, they start fighting the bad guys. And Kitana and Ricky actually think they could sneak up and get the book while the monster's not looking, but they weren't lucky enough, and they get turned into manga characters as well. This is pretty awesome artwork, by the way. I'll highlight that in a minute. Anyway, Flint, Zox is not happy about this. He's like, he's gonna be like, I'm getting my brothers back, but then manga world's like, I can just rip this apart. So everyone in everyone he's turned to paper, would be killed, or essentially, I don't think they say the word, but it wouldn't be good if they get ripped up. And
Oh,
so,
definitely not.
no, and the to make matters worse, Juren and Majin get turned into manga characters as well, and Room's pickaxe also gets captured too. So he's not captured. His pickaxe is, which was actually pretty funny. However, before the monster could do any more damage, Kaito shows up and does this pretty sick karate, this pretty sick
Flying kick.
flying kick. And you want to take it?
Yeah. So as when Kaito shows up and starts joining up with to fight off what is going on in this with the manga world. Manga world, he is just like, "Oh, I am just gonna like oh man, this is getting too much. I need to get out of here."
Mhm,
So,
Kaito managed to injure his arm.
yep, and he injured like Manga World's arm, and he's like, "Oh, my like artistic manga drawing arm. Oh, I'll get back at you. Just you wait." And then the Manga World just retreats, and Zox and Kaito are trying to figure out a plan how to get Juran, Majin, Katana, and Ricky back to normal.
And the other
But
people.
before we get to that, we go to the Toji Tendo Empire headquarters. So in this scene, we Ijirud and Barashitara were talking to like Lord Bokuwas, why their intentions to use Manga World and like attacking the city. But as they're talking about their plans using Manga World attacking the town, um, like Barashitara was hinting like about that incident that happened with Kaito's mom escaping the Ichiro's lab, and Lord Bokuwas for a second was detecting like, huh? What is something suspicious? What do you mean by that? oh, if something were to happen, I'd be so angry. Boom, boom. Oh, what? Your silence, man.
Sorry. So Ijirood ain't happy that Barashitari and Gigas ratted on him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Anyway,
Anyways, so after that whole incident, controversy that was going on between the Tochitendo Empire guys, we go back to the candy cafe shop where Flint, Zox, and everybody were trying to figure out how to get everybody off of how to get people off, how to
get back to normal.
lift the spell off of Katana and Ricky from turning into manga paper. So they just trying different kind of methods, like, oh, it's not a good idea if we were to rip off the pages, or Vroom just put through just add in on like another joke, like, oh, what if we were to light up on fire? I was like, oh my goodness.
I was like, wow, these guys are being pretty sadistic to their friends, or comrades.
Okay, for Vroom, who's into readings and books, I think the last thing he'll ever do is to start a fire on a book, or rip a piece of book.
Mm-hmm.
But as Zox is still like trying to figure out, it turns out he is a huge manga fan.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Because there is a world called Manga World.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the team's thinking, hey, maybe if we just put out a bunch of manga drawings, it'll they'll trap we could trap the monster. And like Zox gets real upset, going, amateurs can't just make their own manga. It has to be done properly. And like he storms off, Flint goes with him. And then we cut back to the base again as Ijirood is still not thrilled about Barashitara and Gigas' little lip slip to Emperor Bokawas, and Stacy shows up, and like they both agree that um, they just want to win this thing, and like not let Barashitara get all the glory, and he's Ijirood's preparing another big invention, so big stuff, big stuff coming from him, and then, so the Zenkaigers put their plan into action of, luring the monster out. Also, a little clever detail about this episode. The paper that we see Vroom and Majin, or sorry, Jiren and Majin on, it actually changes depending on the situation they're in. So that was actually kind of a neat detail. It's not just, they're just frozen drawings or something. They actually make it look like they can still interact with them. Interact with the rest of the group and all, which was pretty funny. Anyway, it looks like the spell is or their trap is working. They lay it out all over this plaza area, and the monster's getting interested. And Kaito tries to sneak up and grab the book, and he just freezes for a moment. And I was thinking, like, of all the times, remember back at the start of the show, whenever like when the bad guys, before they would even morph, they would just shoot the monster. I was like, if they just shot him, they could probably have gotten the book then. But no, their plan failed, and Kaito gets turned into a manga character as well. He's like, he caught me. So
he's the manga paper. Oh no. Ah,
so that was pretty funny. And then Flint shows up, and what happens?
So Flint shows up, and wait, what was that next one? Yeah, so Flint shows up, and she released these mountains of like manga papers onto Manga World, and I thought it was some kind of distraction, but it turns out it was none other than a huge distraction. This is a great plan, and Manga World, he is so like caught up and very have this passion when it comes to manga reading. Like he just like grab every single page of this of this famous manga that he's looking at. There's this colorful page and what it seems like a pirate or some kind of manga world, like very valued manga, and he's
Mhm.
just going at it. It's like, I want to know more. I want to know more. What's next? What's next? What's next? And while he was picking up those pages, it distracted him, and Zox had the opportunity to seize the manga that manga world used on the innocent victims, and he finally retrieved it. So that's when the fight is really starting to get on, and in this in not only this is pretty fun. Like all those, I'm curious like how the director of this episode come up with like these different pages with interactions of of Jiran, Majin, and Kaito reacting at a certain scene when the time is right.
Yes, that's pretty cool. That was pretty funny and all. Also, Kaito or Zox, he reveals, that he had actually stolen all these manga papers from Manga World before it was captured. And so, the other team was a little shocked by that, but that's why the monster was so addicted to it. And the monster even admits, I was like, I know this is a trap, but I gotta keep reading. I gotta keep reading. And so um, this worked to the team's advantage, and so they decide to morph. And even Kaito and the others decided, hey, we're joining in too. Even though we're sheets of paper, we can still fight and all. And we get some really awesome artwork. In fact, it would have been kind of cool if maybe they could have even just given some drawings of what Vroom and Ma- Gown and um, Zox would have looked like during all this. Just it'd be cool to if they had done some sort of
Yeah, just by
art.
looking at these art sketches, like don't you just like to see or like to own a Zenkaiger like manga graphic novel?
It'd
Like
be
it's amazing.
it'd be pretty interesting. Anyway, so they do the usual roll call, and of course, like in typical Zenkaiger fashion, they do it in the style of the situation they're stuck in this week. And but despite like I said, despite being sheets of paper, they're able to hold their own pretty well in the fight, and they're able to overwhelm the grunts a little bit. But
Paper
Stacy,
can fight back.
it could give you a nasty paper cut.
Crazy.
Anyway, so Stacy even shows up and starts fighting, saying like, no, even though you look weird, I'm going to fight you still. And so then what happens?
So what happens then is what was this next photo? Wait,
Oh wait, no, we're not there yet.
oh, not
Mm-mm.
so during the fight, yeah. So during the fight, I'm just surprised how Kaito can hold on to himself, like keep fighting Stacy while in the paper form, because with for a thin sheet of paper, he can avoid getting himself being shot by uh by Stacy's like gear to linger right
hmm
there.
He's pretty maneuverable, and Suchen tells him to use use a ranger gear, and he uses the power of the Dynaman, and uses specifically Dyna Pink's flower ability, and it causes this big explosion, and it knocks Stacy back, and the monster's destroyed, and the team is returned to normal. But as true Zenkaiger fashion, another another
Coup de
giant
test. Coup de
another
test.
another giant robot shows. Or hold on, sorry. Another giant robot shows up to terrorize the city, and turns it all into one big manga world. And so then what happens?
Okay, I want to also throw in this image. Like, I would love to visit a city where all like the building walls are like advertising like mangas. Like I went to Tokyo and they do have buildings where they advertise like mangas that are like new and what is released like on
hmm
the building as as like an advertisement. It's pretty cool.
hmm
Hmm.
So, uh, so Zox, him and Kaito run off to fight the monster, um, using the Q. Dragonzord Q-Rex combo.
That is the Kikaiju. Yeah.
Kikaiju. Yes, using Kikaiju. While the others hold off Stacy, and then but then he makes a retreat, and then the monster overwhelms him for a bit. But then the monster, like Kikaiju, bites the monster where he holds his ink, and they manage to destroy the monster. The day is saved, and then we cut back to the candy shop and wrap us up.
So at the candy cafe shop, like Zox realized that he had to let go his most valued treasure that is from the manga world, and just to save Katana and Ricky, because he cares about his brothers so much that he would sacrifice his most treasured manga papers or favorite manga pages just so then Zox and Flint can save them.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And but since Manga World was freed, Grandma orders Grandma orders you know Flint Zox to take them back, and then we cut to then we cut to the Toji Tendos one last time with Ijiru planning something big.
Yeah, yeah, he is planning something big. So, what do you think is going to be big that he's planning?
Something big, or probably another big robot, maybe even another power up. Who knows?
Okay,
We'll just have to
enough
see.
with a big robot, CG Rude. Okay, if you create a big robot, Stacy's gonna use that, and that will be the third. That will be the fourth sword that he'll lose. Remember, he did use the first sword; it was defeated. Then the second sword is the upgraded version of the first, but failed. Then the
Mm.
third is the Dark Durin Gaon Megazord,
And it failed too.
and it failed too.
Oh,
Remember?
wow.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to see episode 27 yet, so
Okay. So that one failed too. So if Ijiruda is planning on making a fourth Megazord for Stacy, it's gonna happen. So stop wasting your resources, Ijiruda. Use something on a powerful weapon.
or do something else, like maybe even make one the size of Serpentera.
Oh, if he does, then it's a whole new ball game. But
Mm. Yep.
but yeah, our episode ends at the with the Zenkaigers like all happily with the end of the manga world. So this leads us to the next week's episode, and the next week's episode, I've seen some like short sneak peeks, and it is tennis.
Yes, yay.
So, if any of you if you're a fan of tennis, the tennis tournaments that have been going on in the recent months, the finals and the tournaments, and also the other anime series called Prince of Tennis. So, so any tennis fans, check out for next week's episode. That's episode 29, and we'll keep you guys updated whenever that is coming up. But before we, so yeah, that's the end of our episode, and yeah, what are your thoughts about the episode? Any
This
pros
was,
and cons, and what do you give it out of 10?
this was okay. Okay. One thing I am kind of annoyed with right now is that I feel like Zenkaiger is coming off a little too gimmicky. I like I feel like they very rarely have changed things up, in quite a while.
Mm.
Because it's what like I said, still monster causes some problem that affects the city, and then they destroy the monster, they just beat the monster, but then the giant one shows up, turns the city into this big thing, and we don't see the effects of it, and then they destroy that, and then the world's freed. I feel like that's kind of what my really only issue right now is that it feels a little too formulaic right now. But with that being said, this was still a very entertaining episode overall. Like I said, I thought it was clever. The manga drawings of Kaito, Jiren, and Gown, Kaito, Jiren, and Majin. Sorry, and like the artwork was cool. There were some fun moments here and there. It was cool to see them continue the search for his mom too, and like definitely interested in seeing how exactly Ichiru's gonna pull out of this this tight situation he's in.
Mhm.
Overall, maybe I give this 8 out of 10.
Okay.
So what do you
Well,
give
I give this an 8 out of 10 too, and you do have some good points because the right now all I've seen the story between Kaito and Stacy, it's just like it is like a it doesn't feel like a real serious rivalry
it? Hmm.
at all. Like I only
Like
see oh, what do you see this at?
like Kaito, like I mean, it's a decently written, um, like a rival story. But I think the problem is like I think Stacy kind of keeps getting outwitted by the team, whereas I feel like maybe it would be cool if like there would be a few times he got a few more victories in, like maybe like cause the team not to be able to transform into their giant forms, or maybe destroyed their damage their gatlingers a little bit or something like that. I feel like Stacy just kind of feels okay. Best way to explain this. I feel like Stacy comes off more like a nuisance than a credible threat, like he did at the beginning, where he
Mm.
where he's a problem, but it just doesn't feel like he's causing any type of real tension or drama in the like for the heroes, really.
I think the Ichirud or Bashitara should be more involved because
Mhm.
lately in what it's already 28 episodes and they have barely stepped into the field, but Ichiro was in the field in the beginning, but all he does was like telling his plot and create a new like a monster world with the Toji gear.
Mhm.
And Barashitara, he was on the field for like maybe 2 episodes in, and he releases missiles and attacks the Zenkaigers. But like in the other past Super Sentais, like I would expect like those Ijiru, like Bashitara are like the generals of like the main bad guy to like
Mhm.
make most of the appearances on the field because after all, it is their plan and they're trying to carry out the boss's plan. So why can't the Ijiru or Bashitara be on the field? You
Right.
know?
Maybe Ijerud might not be much of a fighter after all. He is kind of limited. But yeah, I feel like Barashitara could definitely step in and cause a few more attacks. Pretty much, you can sum up. I know Sentai and Power Rangers. It's a pretty formulaic show, but for the last few episodes, it has been very much you know, problem of the day. Then we see the villains
Mm,
explain their plan, and then that would pretty much be the only appearance they make in the episode. And then, or like that would be that would be their own real role. And then their team figures out the problem, beats it, monster grows big, and then world's freed, and then kind of wash, rinse, and repeat later. It would be so for like the next few episodes. It would be kind of nice to see more of a like the
mm,
formula get changed up a little bit and maybe have like some more tension build for the characters and the
yeah.
audience. But like I said, overall, not this doesn't make it terrible or anything. It's just I think it's getting a little too predictable. And yes, the show has a habit of doing predictable stuff. It's just I think it feels particularly formulaic now.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So Zenkaiger, please step up or make this a little bit more serious because I like the gimmicks, but it's keeping the same thing. So we're close to like 40 episodes, and I'm hearing things that this will end in 40 around like 40s. So keep it up or like add up more risks because I'll be a little bit growing of the be predicting it. All right. All right. So without further ado, let's go to comments. So, Triple O XYZ, he says, feels weird seeing Zenkaiger on Friday and then revise on Saturday. Still love both episodes this week. I see. Okay. Well, I wish we can keep this up like every Wednesday, but we're trying our best to see we can do it on mostly on Wednesdays because we're trying to do it our schedules.
Right.
Hmm.
So bear with us, people. Oh, and by the way,
Uh,
tomorrow, Dino Fury, episode, I think episode 7. Or no, no,
mm,
no, sorry, I'm sorry, episode, um, 13.
Okay.
So,
All right. So Prathamesh says, "Hi guys."
hey, Prathamesh.
Hello. And Trouble XYZ says, "I want to rewatch Zyuohger after this episode."
Hmm.
Is it because you were singing earlier?
No, I wasn't playing it before I started. It's funny you mentioned that XYZ. I was actually playing the Zyuohger ending theme earlier because it was actually pretty catchy.
Okay. See, this is catchy. All right, so I guess that's all of our comments, and yeah, we're all set. And thank you all for tuning in today's episode. If you haven't if you haven't seen any of the recent episodes, catch it up, and of course on your favorite Super Sentai or Common Writer websites that you go stream online. And before we go, do you have any closing comments you want to say to our fans?
Oh, one other thing I just remembered. Take this with a grain of salt. I don't think it's been officially announced yet, but they're claiming the next series after Zenkaiger will be ninja themed. So, what do you think? Would
Ooh.
you be up for another ninja series?
Ninja series, I'm not sure because like Herdenkanger was great, Kakuranger was great, Ninja is okay, is decent but not rewatchable. But let's see what this new ninja theme series in by 2022. Let's see how it pulls off.
Yeah, if this is what they're gonna do, like I said, grain of salt. It's not officially announced yet that it will be, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is about it, and we give our reviews. And if you guys can find me, I'm on Instagram, Celiao1031, and I'm hanging around the Morphin Network as well. What about you, man?
Instagram brown_k as well as Ranger book. And like I said, tune in tomorrow for our review of Dino Fury episode 13 because interesting stuff's about to happen.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. Well, without further ado, I guess this is the end of our today's episode review, and thank you all for tuning in today's episode 28 of our review of Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. And we hope to keep you guys updated for next week's episode or episode 29. And we'll do our best to keep you guys updated on when our show will be on, besides mixing up with the schedule, Okay.
Okay, so sister's going off to take a nap, so.
Yes, Red Star needs some nap.
Alrighty, so.
Red Star Tai.
Okay, I'll push the button.
Alrighty, just kidding. All right, well, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. So have a happy weekend, and have a great day, and stay safe and stay healthy. And remember, Zenkaiger!
Peace.
Peace, guys.